to read each sentence and then we will see. But before that, I will read out the summary of the previous paragraph so that we get the link with what we have been saying earlier. Okay, so in the previous paragraph, he has said what he is saying. I am reading out to you in short. Spirit becomes man in the universe, and it uses 4 instruments for its cosmic activities in nature. These 4 instruments are supermind, then next is mind, next is life and body. These are the 4 instruments which the divine uses for his work in the universe, the physical universe. So, what are these instruments? There is a description. First of all, the supermind. The supermind is a spiritual consciousness of self-existing knowledge, power, will, necessary capacity, energy. Note the key word, self-existing. Okay? Knowledge in us is not self-existing. It has to be acquired by practice and by study. Whereas in the supermind, if you reach the supermind, knowledge comes by itself. It reveals itself to you. That is what is meant by self-existing. It doesn't have to be acquired. It is already there. Okay? Same with power, same with will, same with necessary capacity and energy. It is a power that creates the cosmos and reveals and unveils its own self-existing Ananda. Supermind is the power of spirit to create real forms in the universe. So this is the definition of supermind. Supermind is the creator of the world. Above the supermind, Satchidananda is there, but it does not create a world. It creates a world only through supermind. Okay? Then we come to mind. This is the instrument he is using, divine uses. What is mind? Mind also contains the same powers. And what are the powers? Knowledge, will, necessary capacity, energy. Mind also contains same powers, but more limited in every way. It's a diminished and degraded supermind. Supermind lives in oneness, but it plays, dallies, sports with multiplicity. Supermind lives in oneness, a native field, but in the physical world, it is playing with multiplicity. It's a play. Then, mind lives in multiplicity, but is capable of opening to oneness. Okay? So, he's comparing mind and supermind. Mind is a diminished form of supermind, but can become supermind. And supermind means at the highest level, divine perfection, but when it comes down, it reduces itself and becomes mind. Okay? Supermind. Now, next is, mind is capable of ignorance because of limitation. Mind is capable of ignorance because of limitation and incompleteness. Thus, mind normally acts as a power of the ignorance. You know the word? Power of the ignorance. Ignorance is the power. It's a power of knowledge to limit itself. Mind is a midway house that can become inconscious, but it can also lead towards knowledge. But it can never become truly knowledge. It can lead you to knowledge, but it cannot become knowledge. But behind every action of mind, there is a supermind, secretly supporting the inferior mental activities. Next, the supermind has full and complete knowledge and is inherently involved in all the lower planes of life and mind. Supermind is there everywhere, hiding. Okay? In matter, supermind becomes a law that arranges, ensures order and intelligent automatic action. In matter, there is order, there is law. Okay? But it is supermind that is causing that. In life, it is seen best as an instinct in animals. The instinct in animals, their actions are perfect, but they're done mechanically and unconsciously. So that's why it's a supermind that becomes the instinct in animals. In mind, it works as intuition, self-effective light with senses and aesthesis. Automatic action, law and intuition are irradiations, manifestations, diminished forms, but in its home, supermind is self-existent, light and power. This is what he said in the previous one. In other words, to make it short, supermind at its highest level is pure Sat Chit Ananda. It is substance, pure substance, it is consciousness, it is power, and it is Ananda. But in the lower world, it is there. In the physical world, it is there, but hiding itself. And it hides itself, but yet it is working. In mind, it becomes intuition. In animals, it becomes instinct. And in matter, it becomes the laws, physical laws. This is what we said in the previous paragraph. Now I read the paragraph that we have to read today. Each sentence. Okay? Life is an energy of spirit subordinated to action of mind and body, which fulfills itself through mentality and physicality and acts as a link between them. So, he is defining what life is. Life is a go-between between mind and body. But if life is not there, there will be no connection between your mind and your body. You will not be able to do anything. You can't have any action on your body. Life is the element that connects the two. It has its own characteristic operation, but nowhere works independently of mind and body. There you are. It's a very interesting statement. It says that life, if you want to see life, you can never see life pure and simple without mind and body. You can't. But you can see it only when it is in a body. Okay? All living creatures in the physical world have a body. Then only you can recognize it. But if it is energy without the body, then you can't recognize it, you won't see it because it is beyond the senses. Take for instance electricity. Electricity, okay, is energy, but it is energy without body and mind. So you're not able to perceive it. That's what they're saying. But the moment it is linked with body and mind, you can see it everywhere. All the life that is there in plants, it is there in animals, and it is there in human beings. But what you are seeing is not life. You are seeing its combination with mind and body. That's what they're saying. Okay? All energy of the spirit, I'm reading the next sentence. All energy of the spirit in action works in the two terms of existence and consciousness. Existence is substance and consciousness is the awareness, okay? Chit. For the self-formation of existence and the play and self-realization of consciousness, for the delight of existence and the delight of consciousness. All energy of the spirit is action, in action, works in the two terms of existence and consciousness. Okay. So he is repeating the same thing in different words. He is saying life is dealing with substance, which is existence, and consciousness, which is mind. Okay. He is saying the same thing in a more universal manner. For the self-formation of existence and the play and realization of consciousness, for the delight of existence and delight of consciousness. But life is doing this, okay? Life is doing. I'm reading that sentence again. All energy of the spirit in action, okay, works in the two terms of existence and consciousness. Existence, substance, or in our case, it becomes the body, and consciousness, which is mind. Okay? So it is doing. And what is it doing? When it is acting, What is it doing? What is its purpose? For the self-formation of existence and the play and self-realization of consciousness. Okay? It is giving shape to matter. Life is giving shape to matter. And it is also giving free scope for the realization of our consciousness to realize itself. Okay? For the delight of existence, it's also working for the delight of existence. This also you can understand in a different way. You can understand that the vital, its main purpose for existence is enjoyment, delight. And that's what Swami is saying in a very philosophical manner. He's saying that energy of life is working for the delight of existence and delight of consciousness. In this inferior formulation of being, in which we are at present live, that is the physical world, the spirit's energy of life works between the two terms of mind and matter. He's putting the same thing. Mind is consciousness and matter is existence. The earlier sentence is now putting in different way at the individual level. Earlier it was a universal level, now it's an individual level. In this inferior formulation of being, in which we at present live, the spiritual energy of life works between the two terms of mind and matter, supporting and affecting the formulations of substance or matter, and working as a material energy, supporting the formulations of consciousness of mind and the working of mental energy, supporting the interaction of mind and body, and working as a sensory and nervous energy. Nervous energy based on the nerves, sensory or senses. What we call vitality is for the purpose of our normal human existence, power of conscious being emerging in matter, liberating from it and in mind, and in it mind and the higher powers, and supporting the limited action in the physical plane. Just as what we call mentality is power of conscious being, awaking in body to light of its own consciousness and to consciousness of all the rest of being immediately around it, and working at first in the limited action set for it by life and body, but at certain points and a certain height, escaping from it to a partial action beyond the self. This is what life is doing. But this is not the whole power, whether of life or of mentality. We have planes of consciousness, we have planes of conscious existence of their own kind, other than its material level, where they are freer in their characteristic action. Matter or body itself is a limiting form of substance. Matter is gross substance, and when it's saying substance, it can be subtle. Okay? It can be subtle matter. Matter or body itself is a limiting form of substance. Because it becomes gross. It takes a very fixed form. It limits itself. Form of substance of spirit, in which life and mind and spirit are involved, self-hidden, self-forgetful by absorption in their own externalizing action, but bound to emerge from it by self-compelling evolution. So in matter is involved life and mind, and it is bound to evolve because it is the nature of things, bound to evolve. Okay? By self-compelling evolution. The self-compelling means evolution itself will. The evolution is bound to happen because it is involved, and the divine, Satchidananda, is involved. And Satchidananda is divine. So he wants to go back. He never agrees to being bound forever. Okay? That's why it is self-compelling evolution. But matter too is capable of defining through subtler forms of substance in which it becomes more apparently a formal density of life, of mind, of spirit. Okay? Subtler forms of substance. We don't see subtler forms, but if you are a yogi, you will see subtler forms. Man himself has, besides his gross material body, an encasing vital sheath, okay? A mental body, a body of bliss and gnosis. So all these are there, different planes of consciousness. First of all, there is a vital sheath. The vital sheath is vital, but it's a sheath. It limits you. It encircles you and limits you. A mental body. There is also a mental body. Body of bliss and gnosis. So all these bodies are there, one by one arranged in the higher plane of consciousness. But all matter, all body contains within it the secret powers of these higher principles. So, even in matter, all these principles are already there, hiding, or if you want, involved in it. They are involved. So they're bound to evolve from there. Apparently, in a formal density of life, mind. Man himself has, besides his gross material body, an encasing vital sheath, a mental body, a body of bliss and gnosis. Man has got all this because he is a universe. He is a universe in miniature. But all matter, all body contains within it the secret powers of these higher principles. Matter is the formation of life that has no real existence apart from the informing universal spirit which gives it its energy and substance. So, actually what he's saying is quite simple, but because he's saying it in a very philosophic language, it's a little difficult to follow. So I'll just give you the summary of what he's saying. So, what he's saying now. Earlier he has spoken about the mind and supermind. Now he's speaking about life. Next he will speak about the matter. Having spoken about mind and supermind, Sri Aurobindo now turns to describe life. Life is energy of spirit, number one. Secondly, it lies between mind and body and is subservient to both. It is subservient to both. It's a link between mind and matter. Life has its own independent law and working, but it always works through body and mind. But it never works independent of body. That will discuss just now. Life, pure life by itself, doesn't exist. It has to manifest through matter and through mind. Life has its own independent law and working, but it always works through body and mind. It never works alone. But it never works independent of body. This energy, Shakti, is active, works through existence and consciousness. Purusha and Prajna, matter and mind. This is one way of explaining it. It is an agent that allows matter to make living forms. It also facilitates consciousness to realize itself in these forms. Its action also makes possible the delight of form making as well as the delight of consciousness. Now, I made a small footnote. When consciousness grows, obviously there is delight and satisfaction. In the lower hemisphere of body, life and mind, the energy works between mind itself. Okay? The energy works between mind above itself and matter below itself and actively supports and formulates their own activities. The energy that supports the interaction, I have to read this in another way. This energy also supports the interaction of mind and matter. Life is this energy. Life in this energy emerges from matter, where it is involved, and frees mind from matter, as well as the other superior planes of existence. It is life that allows mind to become free. If life is not there, it will be very difficult for it to become free from matter. Life in this energy emerges from matter where it is involved and frees mind from matter as well as the other superior planes and powers. Life not only acts in between mind and matter, but even liberates itself into a separate world. Mind, life, and matter have all their proper planes formed in the involution downwards. But these three also interact between themselves and are involved in each. Thus, matter, which is the densest, can sublimate itself into subtler and subtler substance. As its subtlety increases, it becomes life, mind, and finally, by the all ascending grades of the spiritual level, reaching even up to the Supreme Spirit, which is also the subtlest of substance. Even the Supreme Spirit is subtlest of substance. Therefore, we can say finally, thus it is really spirit that is the ultimate reality. All the lower planes being only phenomenal and partial manifestations of spirit. This is what he said in the okay? He is going to tell us what is the psychology of self-perfection. So naturally he has to tell us the perfection is up there and below is the imperfection. So the up, what is up has been brought down. That's what he is busy doing. He is establishing the connection between mind, life and matter to the supermind. Okay? Just to remind you, Sat at the highest level becomes matter here. So there's a connection. And if there's a connection, it is possible to interact between them and bring it down. Then there is Chit, which is consciousness. Then there is Shakti. Chit Shakti becomes a life element. Then Ananda becomes the psychic being in man. And supermind becomes mind. These are the connections. Okay? Thus, it is really spirit that's the ultimate reality. And all the lower planes of being are really phenomenal, but partial manifestations of spirit. That partiality has to go away and it will become full manifestation. That is Srimdo's integral yoga. The others don't bother about the body-mind life. They want to just escape from body-mind life. But in Srimdo's case, integral yoga, you have to transform the body-mind life in the world itself. That's what it is. Okay? So now we can go to the next part. This is the nature of spirit and its instruments. So, Kiran, you have not read for a long time. Would you like to read?
Yes, Nandana.
Go ahead. This is the nature of spirit.
This is the nature of spirit and its instruments, but to understand its operations and to get at a knowledge which will give to us a power of leverage in uplifting them out of the established groove in which our life goes spinning. We have to perceive that the spirit has based all its workings upon two twin aspects of its being, soul and nature, Purusha and Prakriti. We have to treat them as different and diverse in power, for in practice of consciousness, this difference is valid. Although they are only two sides of the same reality, pole and pole of one conscious being. Purusha or soul is spirit cognizant of the workings of its nature, supporting them by its being, enjoying or rejecting enjoyment of them in its delight of being. Nature is power of the spirit, and she is too working and process of its power, formulating name and form of being, developing action of consciousness and knowledge, throwing itself up in will and impulsion, force and energy, fulfilling itself in enjoyment. Nature is Prakriti, Maya, Shakti. If we look at her on her most external side, where she seems the opposite of Purusha, she is Prakriti. an inert and mechanical, self-driven operation, inconscient or conscient only by the light of Purusha, elevated by various degrees, vital, mental, supramental, of his soul illumination of her workings. If we look at her on her other internal side, where she moves nearer to unity with Purusha, she is Maya, will of being and becoming, or a cessation from being and becoming with all their results, apparent to the consciousness of evolution and of involution and evolution, existing and non-existing, self-concealment of spirit and self-discovery of spirit. Both are sides of one and the same thing. Shakti, power of being of the spirit, which operates whether superconsciously or consciously or subconsciously in a seeming inconscience. In fact, all these motions coexist at the same time and in the same soul. As the spirit's power of knowledge, power of will, power of process and action, Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti. By this power, the spirit creates all things in itself, hides and discovers all itself in the form and behind the veil of its manifestation.
He is now giving us the connection and how the supermind is working in the physical world. The idea of Purusha and Prakriti is now being expanded. Okay, so remember one thing: Purusha is consciousness and Prakriti is Shakti. Chit Shakti. Chit is Purusha and Shakti is power. Now, interesting thing is that at the highest level, they are one and the same. But when they come down here, they become totally different. Okay? They are not in all the planes below the supermind, they are different. Only at the supermental level, the higher level, they merge and become one. Okay? They are equal to each other. This is what he is explaining here in a very interesting manner. Okay? So I'll read each sentence and we'll see whether it's clear. This is the nature of spirit and its instruments. So remember, the nature of spirit is Satchidananda, and the instruments are supermind, mind, life, body. Okay? The nature of spirit is Satchidananda, and it is instruments are regular for manifestation. In the manifestation, there are instruments by which it reveals itself slowly in the form of evolution. But to understand its operations and to get at a knowledge which will give to us the power of leverage or leverage, whatever you want, in uplifting them out of the established groove in which our life goes spinning, we have to perceive that the spirit has based all its workings upon two twin aspects of the being, soul and nature, Purusha and Prakriti. You can also talk of them as Chit and Shakti. Okay? Chit and Shakti is actually one. That's why they never even speak about Shakti. Sat Chit Ananda. Usually the Shakti aspect is not even spoken of in Satchidananda. Consciousness itself is power. So soul and nature. Okay, Purusha and Prakriti, Chit and Shakti. We have to treat them as different and diverse in power. So very clearly, he is telling you that we have to treat them as different and diverse in power. But in practice of consciousness, this difference is valid. He is talking here of the Sankhya philosophy, which says that Purusha and Prakriti are always separate. Okay? He is saying in the lower planes it is valid. Okay? It is true that they are separate. Okay? And they interact with each other. In practice of consciousness, these differences vary, although they are only two sides of the same reality, pole and pole of the one conscious being. So you can speak of them in this way, that at one end, if you see, there is Chit, the other end is Shakti, or you can think of it as soul and nature. Okay? or Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is consciousness, Prakriti is power. We have to figure it. Now, there are only two sides of the same reality, saying pole and pole of the one conscious being. In other words, there is Purusha, and the power which is there is his own power at the highest level. So, in the supermind, soul and nature are equal to each other, and they are, interestingly, you can see there is something very interesting. If the individual human being experiencing the Purusha aspect of Satchidananda, then he will see the personal God. He will see the personal God, and Shakti is his own power. Okay? But if the human being sees more the Shakti aspect, like in the Tantric path, okay, they will see that the Divine Mother, okay, is the Divine Mother who is using her Shakti and doing everything, and there's consciousness in her. Consciousness in her, but she is the Supreme. So there are two ways of looking at this experience of the Purusha and Prakriti. It can be either this or that. At the highest level, you see them both as one. Okay? They what's in this. So the psychology of self-perfection very much has to do with Purusha and Prakriti. How you have to deal with them. Okay? That's what is slowly Chandra is coming. So now I go to the next sentence. Purusha or soul is spirit cognizant of the workings of its nature. It knows, okay, it has knowledge. Cognizant means it has knowledge. It has knowledge of the workings of its nature. Nature is seeming to be working independently, but Purusha has the knowledge. Supporting them by its being, enjoying or rejecting enjoyment of them, with delight of being. At the human level, we are enjoying, but we are also rejecting enjoyment. Okay? Sometimes. But this is at the spiritual planes of consciousness is talking about that. Rejecting enjoyment of them in its delight of being. Nature is, so he has told you what Purusha is. Now nature is power of the spirit, and she is too working and process of its power, formulating name and form of being. So, Nama Rupa. That means to say the limitation of form and Rupa. Form and limitation, it is nature which is doing that. Nature is giving shape to the different aspects that are to be manifested. Developing action of consciousness and knowledge, throwing itself up in will and impulsion, force and energy, fulfilling itself in enjoyment. That is nature. Then nature is Prakriti. Now telling you about nature. Nature is Prakriti, Maya, Shakti. Now if you remember, in the Life Divine, there's a whole chapter on this. So I'll summarize it for you so that it becomes clear what is said. Brahman, Purusha, Ishvara, Maya, Prakriti, Shakti. Okay? When you experience the Brahman consciousness, that is the self, okay, you see the physical world as Maya. You see it as unreal. Okay? This is the first level. That's why the Mayavada philosophy is the first experience that you get. Even Srimda had the experience. When he went to the self in Baroda, the first experience is the world is non-existent. It's only shadow forms. Okay? So that's a connection. When Purusha is Brahman, Prakriti becomes Maya, illusion. Then when you go a little higher up, okay, the second level, I am talking about the second level here, not as usually say, but at a higher stage, Purusha becomes, Purusha is seen as a personality, Purusha. And then you see the physical world, the energy in the physical world is mechanical energy, unconscious mechanical energy. It's not false anymore. It's not an illusion, but it is mechanical energy. Okay? So that's the second. Then when you go even higher up, you see that the Purusha becomes the Ishvara. he becomes a lord. He has got a personality and also he has got an impersonality. And the Shakti is his own power. So he has got 40 pages of that chapter in Laddu. Prakriti, Maya, Shakti, Brahman, Purusha, Ishvara, Maya, Purusha. Here he has inverted the order a little bit, but that's what I have summarized for you. So if we look at her on her most external side, where she seems to be the opposite of Purusha, she is Prakriti. And what is that? It's an inert and mechanical self-driven operation. Inconscient or conscient only by the light of Purusha. Elevated by various degrees, vital, mental, supplemental, of his soul elimination of our workings. In other words, when you are Purusha, nature appears to be mechanical and unconscious energy. That's what he said. If we look at her on her other internal side, where she moves nearer to unity with Purusha, she is Maya, will of being and becoming, or a cessation from being and becoming, with all the results apparent to the consciousness, self-concealment of spirit and self-discovery of the spirit. At every level, the divine is hiding himself, and if you are coming down, it is concealing itself, and if you are going up, it is revealing itself. That's what Shambhala said. Becoming one of the results apparent to the consciousness of involution and evolution, existing and non-existent. The human being can also experience all these different states. Self-concealment of spirit and self-discovery of spirit. Both are sides of one and the same thing. Shakti, power of being of the spirit, which operates whether superconsciously or unconsciously or subconsciously in a seeming inconscience. Even the inconscience is actually a seeming one. It's consciousness which has gone to sleep. In fact, all these motions coexist at the same time and in the same soul. Only they come to the forefront of things, then become present. Otherwise, everything is there already in our human, the human soul also. In fact, all the emotions coexist at the same time and in the same soul, as the spirit's power of knowledge, power of will, power of process and action, Jnana Shakti, Ichcha Shakti, Kriya Shakti. So, Jnana Shakti translates as mental knowledge in the physical world, Ichcha Shakti translates as vital energy, and Kriya Shakti, bodily energy. Okay. By this power of spirit, by this power, spirit creates all things in itself, hides and discovers all itself in the form and behind the veil of its manifestation. So the divine consciousness is playing with itself. It is hiding itself and revealing itself slowly through evolution. That's what it is. So it's 8:39. So,
what Kriya Shakti?
Yeah, Kriya Shakti, action, the body. He's talking of the body. Kriya Shakti is action, energy.
No, and Ichcha Shakti is?
Ichcha Shakti corresponds to the vital, and
Okay.
Jnana Shakti corresponds to the mind. We have been speaking of this. Yeah, that's right.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so we stop here today. The next time we'll do Purusha is able to.
Dada,
Yeah, tell me.
are these Shakti, three Shaktis, are these, can we relate them with Sattva, Raja and Tamo?
It is related, certainly related. Yes.
Thank you.
Related, yes. Certainly. They are characteristics of these three states. That's right. Okay. So,
Merci beaucoup.
Very well, Rangada. Thank you, Rangada.
okay. One more, everybody.
Thank you, Dada. All over.
Thank you, Rangada.
Thank you.